Welcome back to another edition of Research Fantasy presents our MLB DFS pitcher picks for Sunday, June 25th, 2017. And I gotta say, wow, it is awful. I mean, I hate looking at slates like this. Sunday is one of my favorite days to play because it's really one of the few days where I actually get to just sit down and I don't try to do too much. I'm constantly moving, constantly trying to do something, whether it be around the house or to improve the site. But when I sat down at about 10 o'clock last night, 10:30 last night, and started researching this article, I just really hated everything I saw from a pitcher perspective. Pretty much everything you're going to have to do today is going to come with a risk. I just don't see any way around that being the case. You're just going to have to accept it for what it is and move on. With that being said, let's go to Jake Odorizzi. 15-3 fantasy draft, 7,700 FanDuel, 7,900 on DraftKings. With decent to above average to elite pitchers, I don't mind going against the Orioles. They're a lineup that is on again, off again. We've seen them cough up a lot of big games to, like I said, average pitchers or better, especially right-handers. Odorizzi, out of pretty much everyone on this slate, seems to be the most consistent option. So if I'm building cash games today, which I'm just not going to do because I don't really feel confident in any of these guys, Odorizzi's probably the guy that I'm going to go with just because I just think that there's the least likelihood of him getting absolutely hammered. The next two guys I'm going to mention, I see it being a very real possibility that they could have 40-plus fantasy points in terms of DraftKings. They could also have 9. And that's just too much of a risk of outcome for me. But I like Odorizzi. I probably am not going to go very heavy on him. This is probably a day where maybe I don't even play. I don't know. I probably will. Who am I kidding? But he'll probably be one of my heavier pitchers, and I think that's probably something that's going to be common. Next up, Sonny Gray, 16-8 fantasy draft, 8K FanDuel, 8,600 DraftKings. I don't love Gray. I do not like targeting the White Sox. It just doesn't seem to be a fruitful matchup all the time. But in defense, we've seen, again, middling to better pitchers turn out okay as long as they're right-handed. Lefties, it's over if you're trying to play lefties against the White Sox. They can just rake against left-handed pitching. But Sonny Gray, better real-life pitcher than he is a fantasy pitcher. And if we're being honest with one another, he's not even really a good real-life pitcher anymore. He had a couple of years where he was solid yet unspectacular. But again, you're dealing with looking through the top to bottom on this slate. Nothing really pops out any kind of way. We know, like I said, the White Sox do struggle a little bit, have a little bit of an inflated strikeout rate against right-handed pitching, so I don't mind going with Sonny Gray tonight. I think Michael Pineda has the highest upside on this slate. 22-8 fantasy draft, 8,900 FanDuel, 11-7 on DraftKings. First and foremost, to me, the price on DraftKings almost prices him out of contention for me. Now, we can sit here and debate with each other that he's got the highest strikeout upside, but we really haven't seen it all that much this year. I don't think he's put together that many games where he's really struck out a lot of batters. I mean, I think both Tanaka and Severino have been above him in the amount of strikeouts that they're producing. Texas is a team, even though they put up 8 runs yesterday, Texas is a team I still do think you're better off playing against when they're on the road. That doesn't mean that they're going to be a team that you just want to relentlessly go after because, like I said, with Pineda, one thing we know is as much as he can go out there and pitch 6 2/3 innings and get us 7 or 8 strikeouts and 1 earned run, he could go out there for 2 1/3 innings, strike out 3 batters, give up 6 runs. So there's a lot of concern with Pineda. But like I said, really outside of probably Odorizzi, there's not a lot of options top to bottom to really consider. Like I said, on DraftKings, I'm going to be more prone to sticking with that Sonny Gray Odorizzi combination just because it lets me do whatever I want to do with my bats. I think there are some good spots to hit with the bats. No pun intended. We'll get to that in the next video. So to wrap things up on a very ugly pitching slate for Sunday, Jake Odorizzi, Sonny Gray, Michael Pineda, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel below. Check us out at researchfantasy.com. See what we've got going on there. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Research and Win. And join us again tomorrow.